I think I nailed the setup first try. Usually I have to adjust the camera a lot. As you can tell from the title, today we are going to be talking about how to manifest him, her, them, whomever back into your life. This is for anyone that is in a current separation from someone that you believe you are destined to be with, or you feel like it's not right that you're apart. This isn't for everyone. It's not. But if you firmly believe that they are meant to be in your life and you are in a time of separation, here's every single manifestation technique, tool, spell that I did to manifest my love back to me. I can speak from experience that every single thing here I have both done and it has both worked. So yeah, Ashton, you can just click away right now. You don't need to watch this video. He's already told me so many times before that I don't need to manifest him because he's there. But here's how I did it, basically. I have in front of me all the tools and different things that I'm going to show you that I've used, and it smells so good. I've got some incense, I've got some candles, and it's making me nostalgic. Not nostalgic, but it's reminding me of the time when we were in separation because your smell is such a strong sense. But I anticipate this to be a long video, so I'm going to get right on into it. I have a huge list on my phone. I tried to organize everything in the order that I recommend you doing it in, as well as like talking points, and I highly recommend taking notes on this video. Write everything down, from details on how to do certain things to any tools or items that you may need to pick up or gather. None of these are very expensive, and nothing here is like an item I'm trying to sell you. If you go to a specific parlor or spiritual shop, they will try to sell you on a very expensive like love spell kit for 200 bucks. You don't need to do that. You have all the tools within you and around you to manifest them back to you. I also recommend watching my Manifesting 101 video, which goes over more of just in general ways to manifest regardless of what you are specifically manifesting, and that will highlight and really show you like the basis and foundation of manifestation. So once you're familiar with that, I would deep dive into this video because this is specifically, like I said, for someone trying to manifest someone back into their life. And be warned, because it does work. So make sure this is really what you want. I'm also going to leave my playlist to all my spiritual videos if you want to check out some crystal shopping videos, meditation, manifestation, anything like that. It'll all be down below. Please subscribe and then follow my Instagram because I always post stuff on my story that's spiritual or in regards to topics like this that you might benefit from. But with all of that being said, we're going to get right on into it because like I mentioned, I've got a long list of 24 different ways basically to get someone to text you / reach out, end a separation, all of that. I really hope that you are doing well. I know this time can be so confusing. Nothing will feel right. I remember how hard it was just to do daily routine things when I was in that place. So my heart really does go out to you, but I also want you to know it is temporary. It's not forever. It does get better. And don't lose hope, because I never lost hope and I'm living the life of my dreams right now, not to sound corny. I also want to say that everything does happen for a reason, and when you're in the thick of it, it is so hard and almost impossible to understand that potential reason. But once you get out of it, it will start to make sense. Everything happens for a reason and you will get through this. If you're really struggling and miss someone and you just feel like, oh, it's not right, like you are in control. You have so much control. The universe wants to give you what you want. So be careful what you wish for. But here are all the ways that I have manifested a special someone back into my life during a time of separation. I hope you enjoy. The first thing that I do want to clarify on my list here is that sometimes the universe protects us by removing someone that is hurting us out of our lives. So it's done as a form of protection. If this person was hurting you, whether that is emotionally, physical, like actual, or just internally, if this person wasn't good for you and you're not meant to be, the universe will remove that person. So if that's your case, this video is not for you and there's no need to manifest something toxic, negative, and harmful back into your life. But if you fully believe and have zero doubt that this person is meant to be in your life, then let's proceed. So the first thing that I have that I want you to do right now, well, after you watch this video, is to write down exactly what you want. We're going to be writing a lot and talk about various writing manifestation techniques, but this will be our base, okay? So just write down, manifest exactly what you want out of the situation. I want so-and-so to come back. I want us to be together. I want him to say this. I want her to whatever. Like, just write it all out, even if it sounds silly, even if you're like, I just don't see her doing this. We'll talk about that doubt in a second, but just write it out. The other side note I want to mention here is that if you're thinking of something, it already exists. And once you write it down, it's physically there. Like, it's another step into making this a reality. So be very careful with your thoughts. If you have doubt, if you have hope, it's there, it exists, and you're writing it. So you're putting it into a physical form on this realm. And that's another way that it's coming into fruition. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We've written it down somewhere safe. The first big thing to manifest someone back into your life is to make room for what you are manifesting. Deep clean your space to release any negative energy attached to old items or memories. I mean, we carry a lot of weight and energy attached to old clothing items, or bad memories are attached to different items in our home. So clear that out. You don't want that stored in your space anymore. It could be a blockage. Deep cleaning your house, getting rid of old clothing, removing clutter. All of these are ways to show the universe that you are making room for new people and new energy to come into your life, and it's clearing out pathways. Essentially, it is showing the universe that you are making room for the good to come. One of the first things I do in this early stage of manifestation is declutter, deep clean, anything that no longer serves me. It's out of here. I'm immediately showing the universe after I wrote down what I want, like, okay, I wrote it down and now I'm starting to do the work to clean, to make room for it to happen. The next thing that I want you to do after you wrote down your manifestation and you've deep cleaned is to burn the old. So I've got my bay leaves here. If you're unfamiliar with the process of burning bay leaves, it is a really great tool to use to remove old energy or blockages. Really simple. You can buy bay leaves in the seasoning aisle at any grocery store. Target, Trader Joe's is typically where I get mine, and then I put them into this jar. You don't have to do it on a full moon, but I find it most helpful on a full moon with the full moon's energy. What you're going to do is take a piece of bay leaves and write down what no longer serves you, what you want to remove, what you want to cleanse or burn out of your life on the leaf. So I would write down, fear that so-and-so's not coming back. Or something that was really helpful is I would write down this person's name and then ego, their ego, because that's what's holding them back from reaching out. You want to remove their ego so that they have nothing blocking them from wanting to reach out and say sorry or wanting to get back to you. Most separations are because of someone's ego. You can also write down like my fear, heartbreak, anxiety, whatever it is that you feel is negative that's in your mind, write it on a bay leaf and then you're gonna burn it somewhere safe. So I always do mine over my kitchen sink so that the bay leaf ashes go into the sink, and if my hand gets too hot, I can drop it into the sink and I'm fine. It's a really, really good tool and a safe way to use fire divination, but we'll talk more about the element of fire later on. But it's an awesome way to let go, remove blockages. Doesn't have to be on a full moon, but during this struggling time of heartbreak and confusion, I was doing this like multiple times a day, every single day, just burning the ego, burning fear, burning anxiety, all of it. Okay, we're gonna go back to the writing techniques. I have my old manifestation journal to help me out here because this is where a lot of them are stored, but you wanna write down exactly what you want. Again, write down, tell the universe what you're manifesting, what you want to happen, how you want this person to reach out, how you're going to feel when they do, how you're going to be so happy. Basically, just everything you can think of, tell the universe exactly what you want, and then you're going to sleep with it underneath your pillow. So when I did this, put it like this underneath the pillow that you're sleeping on. And I always say it out loud too. After I write something down, then I'll like speak it into existence after writing it into existence. Sleeping with it under your pillow is another way of just absorbing it in your sleep and getting you to the same energy frequency that what you're manifesting is at, because that's where you want to be. You have to ride the same frequency as what you're manifesting, otherwise you're not going to be on the same wavelength, literally. Okay, kind of going off of deep cleaning, this is something else that I did kind of in the beginning, but weekly or whenever you feel is necessary, and it ties into cleaning your space, but this next tip is to cleanse your space. Do not do any smudging ceremonies though, because that is a closed practice. Be very aware of closed practices, and you don't want to be using white sage or a smudging kit. I have been invited multiple times to smudging ceremonies, and that has been a beautiful blessing, but I would never feel comfortable doing that in my home. However, there are different types of sage that you can buy, and as long as it's not a smudging ceremony, and it's not white sage, from what I've been told from people that are in this practice, then it's okay. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't want to give out wrong information. You can politely correct me in the comments if this does offend your close practice, but from friends that I've had, this is how they've explained it to me. I've also got some incense here. This is the Love Amour incense sticks. I also have Come to Me and Passion somewhere around this house, but it doesn't have to be this, but I just think it's helpful. And you want to take whatever incense you're burning, walk around every single room of your house. I always do the doorways, the corners, every single space. You want to cleanse the energy so that you only have new flowing energy, nothing that is stagnant or old or negative that's floating around. I also have some blessed salt that my mom gave me. So unique fact, I was partially raised Catholic. My mom's Catholic. My dad grew up in a Buddhist environment. He was born in Southeast Asia. His whole side of the family, I believe, was raised Buddhist. So I have Buddhism and Catholicism in my immediate background. Now, I don't personally practice Catholicism. I don't believe a lot of what they believe, and I assume if you're watching this video, you probably don't either, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful either, because my mom did give me blessed salt that she uses to bless her home. And it's funny when certain things overlap. My mom is kind of scared of everything that I do, but then she does similar things, but because it's within the Catholic Church, she's not as afraid of it. You can't go wrong with blessed salt. Salt is something that we're going to use a lot too when I talk about different spells, to protect our spells, protect our energy, and to protect our home. So I use this blessed salt to, as directed by my mother, I place it in corners of each room as well as doorways to protect the home. I don't know if you believe in spirits or ghosts. If you're watching this video, you probably do. I do. By protecting each room and corner of the home and doorway with salt, it prevents bad spirits or demons or ghosts to enter. So that's another way to bless your home. If you don't have blessed salt, any type of salt will do. Kosher salt, I've got a big thing of it from Trader Joe's, and I use that for spells. Now, the next thing that you want to be doing is speaking it into existence. Start saying phrases, you know, like so and I are back together, or they love me, or I am so happy because blank returned back into my life, or I am dating whoever, or I am with blank, or I am so in love, I've never been happier. You just have to really, really believe it and start speaking it into existence, getting yourself on that wavelength. Like, it's gonna work out. So-and-so and I, like, we're together, we're dating, we're in love, like, he came back, I'm so happy because she is my girlfriend, you know, like, whatever it is, you gotta say it, you gotta do it, speak it into existence. Just side note, don't expect to do this all within one day, wake up and have what you've manifested, because divine timing. This could take weeks, months, but it's important that you do not give up hope. Nothing happens overnight, and that doubt is going to hold you back. Okay, getting into another writing technique that you can do. For this next one, you are going to write out a text message exactly as you would like to receive it. And I recommend doing this all within the same journal. I have a manifestation journal. If you have a blank journal, just dedicate a space, a safe space, to all of these techniques. But for this next writing technique, you are going to write out a text message exactly as you want to receive it. And I like the visual concept of it, but I wrote out like the contact name exactly how it is on my phone. I've doodled out like the text message bubbles. You can get very accurate too, like if you want to use blue and gray markers or colored pencils, like visually see it. You want to, as you're writing, like be able to hear the message come in. The way that I wrote mine after I did that is just like in their own mannerism, you know, like, hi, I really messed up pushing you away. I shouldn't have done that. And then I responded, hey, it's okay. I'm really glad you texted me. Are you free tonight? Yes, come over, on my way. And then meditate on that. And what's crazy is that's almost identical to the conversation that we had eventually when they did reach out and we were ending the separation. But I think that's a very, very helpful manifestation technique that works really, really well. But if writing is not for you, the whisper method never fails. I've talked about the whisper method in the other manifestation video, but I'll try to summarize it really quick in this one as well. You want to do this in a very calm state of almost meditation. I like to do it before bed. I'll close my eyes and you want to picture that person sitting in their environment, wherever you see them, whether it's in their bed sleeping, on the couch in their living room. The technique of also just seeing them as a bright light works really well too. But with your eyes closed, seeing this person, you want to enter that space. Walk up to the light, or in my case, I found it helpful to pretend that I was going to their home. So I would like open the apartment door, walk in, and I would literally in this meditation hear my footsteps. Pretend to be walking. Don't rush it. Take your time. You're there. You've missed them, you know, and you're visiting them. I like to do this at night because I believed that I was coming to them in a dream and that my spirit or my soul was leaving my body and going to talk to their soul. Anyway, you want to walk up to them. They don't know that you're there because they're sleeping or they're in a light or they're just watching TV on the couch. And you want to whisper into their ear everything that you want them to do. I would say this out loud in meditation. I would say like, you miss this sounds, I'm sorry, Ashton, if you're watching this. But I would literally say like, you really miss Makayla right now. You messed up, you love her, say you're sorry, she misses you. Sometimes I talk to them like a conversation, you know, like, hi, I've really missed you. Like, I hope you're doing okay. Please text me, like I want you to reach out. I'm not upset, I'm not mad, I just want us to be okay. Like I really miss you, I want you in my life. Remove your ego, like the ego, and like just talking to them, saying everything you wanted to say and telling them what to do. Like reach out to me, text me, call me, reach out to Makayla, you want to talk to Makayla. And then I would always end it with a kiss. I sound like Kate Barlow in Holes when she would like kiss all the men that she could kill. We're not killing anyone here, but in this meditation, after I whispered everything I wanted to say to them, I would kiss them and I would visually see myself walking out of the room, walking away from the light, hearing the door shut behind me, and then I would come out of that meditation. And that's usually the time when I would write or place what I had written underneath my pillow and then go to sleep. Whisper method, I swear it works every single time. Off of whisper method, you want to get used to the phrase, no matter what he is doing, no matter who he is with, he is always thinking about me, or she, or them. You might have heard this on TikTok, that's where I found it, but it does work. So in the whisper method, I would, you know, include that in and say, you know, you were always thinking about me. I would walk throughout my day saying this. I would write it down. I got to a point one day where I wrote it over and over and over again on one page and then read it out loud and like manifested on it. But I'm telling you, it works. Okay, the next technique is the 7 or the 9 knot spell. I've seen both, so I don't think it matters. I thought I had an example of one in this journal, but I think it's in a drawer actually. Basically, you want to take string, like friendship bracelet making string, sewing string, choose some colors. I always chose like red for love or passion, white for cleansing and blessing, purification, his favorite color. But you want to make 7 or 9 knots on this piece of string. I'm gonna try to find the phrase because I cannot recall it online, place it on the screen for you, but this is what you're supposed to say. And then I would place the string over the writing that I've done. Other times I've seen people wear it until it falls off, but it's another way of like physically doing something while speaking out your manifestation and placing it into the item, just to speak it into existence. But I want to get more into some writing techniques and different writing tools that help manifest. And then we're going to move on to fire and water. Try to use all of the elements here, but there are so many ways to manifest. I'm telling you, I've been through it. Like I've done all of these. I found some of the different writing manifestations that I would use in this journal. And the first one that I want to show you to do is the circle one. So you want to draw a really big circle on a page and write thoughts. Around the circle, you want to take a highlighter to protect it, kind of like how we protect spells with salt. You're going to take a highlighter and protect the circle and keep everything within the circle. Draw a line through the circle, and on one side of the circle, write done, and then with an arrow with the highlighter, write will do. On the side of done, you're going to write down everything that you two have already done together. And then on the right side of the paper under will do, write everything that you have yet to do together, that you see yourself doing, that you want to do together. What's really cool is now on that side, I've got check marks because everything that I manifested for us to do, we've done. Everything came true. So I really recommend that version. So the next technique that I have is you're going to draw a circle and then write the person's name in the middle of the circle. And then around the circle, you're going to write height, hair, where, job, and eyes. And you're going to fill in all of the information as accurately as you can remember. And then just keep this person in your mind for as long as you want to meditate, 30 seconds, a minute, a couple minutes. And then under it, write, I am so grateful that blank texted me, and really meditate on that. This is just another way of writing it into existence, speaking it into existence, meditating it into existence. Now this one also worked really well, and this is more of a triangle method. You're going to draw a triangle, and then at the top of the triangle, write the person's name. At the bottom, 90-degree angle side of the triangle. In the center of the triangle, write what you want them to do. So I wrote, he called, he called, he called. And at the bottom of the triangle, write what the call is going to be about. And then at the other end, write what the call will lead to. And then draw a line connecting all of these triangle ends, and write so and I are coming back into union at the bottom. That one also worked really, really well. The next page, because it just doesn't end, is I wrote a letter specifically to that person. So writing very similar, you know, write exactly what you want. You can write to the universe, the moon, but for this one, we're talking specifically to that person so that when you do meditate, you can focus on the person and talk about this as if you're speaking to them. I won't read you the whole thing, but if you're looking for inspiration, I have, hi, I wish I could have said this all sooner. I wish I was sitting next to you and holding your arms while I say this instead of it being on paper, but I know my time for that will come. I'm just waiting on you. Please let me in. I have so much to say. Like how I'm so sorry how everything unfolded. I'm so sorry I didn't just, you know, whatever it is that happened, just this is your time to talk. I say sorry for a lot of things. I wish our communication had been better. And then I explain what happened. I wish so badly to do it all differently. I hope you give me that chance. I updated them on some things in my life. I'm looking forward to whatever. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. I miss you so much. Thank you, I appreciate you. Like, it went on and on and on. Okay, and then I've got some saved parchment paper, so we should get into that. But those are different ways of writing manifestation techniques. But the next technique that I'm going to get into involves candle divination. So get excited, because this is one of my favorite ways to really manifest. And there are a lot of different ways to do this as well. The first one that I want to talk about is something that I kind of came up with that works really well. You're going to need some parchment paper and a small candle, and then like a Sharpie. And you're going to take a piece of parchment paper. I don't want to use real paper because it's flammable, but parchment paper works really well. You're going to take off a piece of parchment paper, and then with a marker or a Sharpie, write on the parchment paper what you are manifesting. In terms of candles, you can get these at spiritual shops. These small candles are just $1, or they should be, and you can find them for $1, so don't buy an overpriced one. I recommend using a red candle because this is for love and passion, but I also recommend white because white is blessing, purification, cleansing. You can also kind of tie them together, which I also recommend because that's bringing two people together. And there's that one spell where you want two candles, you want to tie the string together so it's one flame where two become one. And then I also have purple because this was their favorite color, so I thought it would be powerful. But you want to take a candle, put it on top of the parchment paper. You can get a little stand, or you can melt the wax a little bit at the bottom so that it sticks. As the candle burns, say what you wrote down, manifest it. You're placing the candle right above it on the parchment paper. Oh my God, I almost forgot. But you also, before you light the candle, want to do a circle of salt around the writing on the parchment paper to protect your spell. And then manifest what you wrote by, I do it where I stare at the flame, and you can get really good where you can actually control the way that the flame moves. I know not everyone will believe me, but I assume anyone that would leave a hate comment about that didn't make it this far in this video. These small candles burn really fast, so I would just do it in one sitting until the candle was completely burned, and I would watch it burn and focus on what I said and like say it. But if you're gonna use like a large candle like this, I use this with a mirror technique, which I'll talk about, but you can set like a timer and just do like 7 or 9 minutes of meditation on the flame and then safely blow it out. But always say something about how it's not an end, this is just like a pause, or the spell will continue to grow. Because when you blow out the candle, you don't want that to like mess with the spell. But since I brought this up, the other technique with fire divination is to use a mirror and then place this on top of the mirror. And then I did parchment paper. I think I did the mirror, parchment paper, and then the candle. And since it's a larger candle, I would just set a timer and meditate on that. This is an old fire manifestation thing that I did with 3 candles of his favorite color that protect, bless, unity. And you can actually see some of the burned bay leaves in between that melted into the wax. But I placed this on top. This is some saved parchment paper on top of parchment paper, and I would manifest on the candles until they burned all the way through. And I kid you not, the day that they burned down to this, he texted me. I could have cried. I think I did cry, honestly. Another thing that I like to do when you are setting up this safe space, it's almost like an altar with the candle, the salt, the parchment paper with your written manifestation, is if you have anything of this person, tangible items, a hairbrush, like whatever they left at your place, put it there. Because that's their energy and that's what you're trying to channel. It's the closest thing that you have to them, and that their energy and frequency is still attached to it, so it will help you get to that line, like alignment, faster. So gather anything physical from them to channel their energy frequency. Also, if you read tarot, tarot is also a really helpful tool with manifesting someone back. I would do a ton of spreads just asking, you know, how are they feeling today? What's going on with so-and-so? And getting an idea. And you know, sometimes tarot can be a tough truth or pill to swallow. The first couple of spreads that I did during separation, it was basically showing me what was up. He walked away, people are talking, it's gossip, stuff like that. It's cool because the reading started to shift once I was manifesting. Once it got to a spread of like 10 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 4 of Wands, like 11, Lovers, which is cool because the Lovers card is also Gemini and I'm Gemini. I would leave those spreads open because I really wanted them to happen, and that was already the path that I was on. I'm looking at one right now. I still have one open. I've got the last spread that I did during this time of separation, and it is still out because closing it up and putting all the cards back when it was such a great reading like that, like I didn't want it to stop. Like I wanted it to happen, so I left it out. But here are two of my favorite tarot decks. The ethereal one, it's just so beautiful. And then I bought this in Florida. So if you've seen my best crystal shops in Florida video, this is the celestial tarot deck, and it's just beautiful. So these two I use and keep up in my room, but I've got some down here in the living room as well. And it's nice to have a lot of decks because, as I just explained, if there is a spread that I want to leave out to really manifest it coming into fruition, I can't use that deck if I'm already leaving a spread out, so I've got other ones to use as well. Off of that, crystals, another awesome tool. I always laid out crystals on my writing manifestations, on the parchment paper, on these little altars, on the tarot spreads. Crystals can be super helpful, and I have a ton of videos on crystals. I have a full video already posted on the best unique crystals to use to manifest divine love that aren't just rose quartz. So I highly recommend watching that video. That is going to have the full list of crystals that I recommend for stuff like this. But I mean, since I brought up rose quartz, self-love doesn't hurt. This does bring love into your life, not necessarily romance, but you do need self-love to thrive in other forms of love, I believe. It can bring love into you in the form of a new pet or friendship, but rose quartz is awesome. I also recommend kunzite so much. This is my favorite stone. This is some tumbled kunzite, but I also have a ton of raw kunzite as well. But kunzite is the stone that attracts divine love into your life, so highly recommend. I also recommend pink tourmaline, celestite, and angelite. So I've got a beautiful piece of celestite here and a little angelite in the shape of an angel. I got this in Arizona last year, if you've seen that crystal video. But both celestite and angelite are awesome stones for guidance from your angels or spiritual guides, and it can help them bring in messages for you. I also recommend carnelian. This is the stone of passion for the bedroom and all of that, makeout sessions, juicy stuff. So carnelian's an awesome stone. And then kyanite. Kyanite is a really awesome stone for communication. It's also one of my favorite stones. I love the light blue stones. Kyanite opens up your throat chakra, so if there's a blockage in communication, kyanite will help. Oh, the last stone I wanted to mention, or the last two, is obsidian and black tourmaline, because these both absorb and remove negative energies. So going back to the beginning, if there is stored negative energy, obsidian will absorb it and help clear the air. Moving on to the last element, water. Water is an awesome tool to use for manifestation, especially charged moon water. So something that I've done in the past is I would write what I want on like a piece of paper, a sticky note. You know, I want so-and-so to text me, reach out, want me back, call me, whatever it is, write it down, full names, date of births, whatever you can think of. I should have brought like a water container over. Pretend this is a water cup. And then take a jar of water, put it on top of the paper, and place it underneath a full moon. Somewhere safe outside, a windowsill. I had an awesome ledge in my apartment where I could open up my window and just place it on this ledge, and I was high up where no one could take it, and it was heavy enough where I wouldn't fall. And then on a full moon, the full moon will charge the water. Charged moon water is awesome to have. I charge it every single full moon. I use it for my Buddha statues, cleanse crystals, I drink it. And for this technique, you're going to drink it because it's been charging underneath your manifestation. Water holds frequency, water has energy, the moon has a direct effect on water. So the moon charged your manifestation underneath the water, into the water, focused on the manifestation while you drink your water, and then it absorbs into you and you become your manifestation, and you carry that energy and embodiment into a new reality. You can also take a really deep bowl of water and go outside underneath a full moon so you can see the moon's reflection in the water. This might be a bit harder than me explaining it because it doesn't always work out that way, but if you're able to get the moon's reflection in a deep bowl of water, speak into the moon's reflection in the water, your manifestations, what you want, ask the moon. And then if it is safe drinking water, drink it, absorb the energy frequency. Those are two great ways to use water as manifestation techniques and tools as well. Also, you can make up your own spells too. A lot of these are kind of things that I knew how to manifest that I would tweak to my own liking or to my own specific manifestation. There's no right or wrong way to manifest. There's no like one way to do it correctly. Spells are usually just all about intention. Similar to like prayer, there's no one right way to pray. I mean, there are prayers to say and there are spells and different things to say, but I think as long as your intention is pure and you're putting in that like focus and meditation, that's a spell, you know? I'll do this when I'm driving and I'm like hoping to find parking. I'll just like speak it into existence and be like, there will be the perfect parking spot waiting just for me when I arrive. That's a spell. So if you have an inkling or a feeling of like, I just want to write this down, or I just want to do this and this and this, like I came up with the parchment paper thing and it just worked. You can make up your own spells too. Don't feel like scared that you're going to do something wrong, because it's really about the intention and the purity of that is going to make a difference. And this last kind of piece of advice that I have might be hard to hear, but you have to keep busy. Sometimes our manifestations are not coming into fruition quite yet because we're just not ready. There's still work for us to do. Whatever is on your to-do list, whatever you've been putting off, whether that is a work obligation or household chores or errands, or you know, the pile of clothes that you've got to go donate, like do it, because whatever is collecting dust in your home or in your mind is taking up space, and you need to focus on what you need to get done in your life. Because they always say that like once you've moved on or you're like focused on other stuff, they come back. You're still manifesting them. You still believe they're coming in because again, you're speaking it into existence. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, you're working hard. You're not sitting on the couch crying. I mean, sometimes I did this, but you got to get up. You have to go to yoga class. You have to work. You've got to hang out with friends. You have to try to keep your mind busy and do anything that needs to be done that might be holding yourself back from this new reality that the universe is trying to give you, because the universe wants to give you what you want. Like, the universe is not harmful. It is not trying to hurt you. As long as you are safe and protected, the universe wants to provide you the happiness that you seek. The last big thing that I have to say is that you cannot have doubt at all. The doubt is going to hold you back. If you doubt, then you are doubting the universe and it will not give you what you want. You've got to fully believe that you deserve this, that it's happening. You have to believe in the universe. Any doubt that you have is holding you back and preventing this manifestation from coming true. So as soon as you doubt it, the magic is gone. Whew. That was a lot, but we did it. And my feet are so asleep right now. My whole leg is asleep from sitting crisscross that whole time. But that is everything that I have done to manifest someone back into my life during a separation. Those are the biggest tools, tips, tricks, advice that I have for you. Please let me know if you have any questions down below, or if you have any other helpful ways that you've successfully manifested someone back. The battery died. But comment down below if you have any other techniques of ways that you have successfully manifested someone back into your life. Subscribe, follow for more. I hope this helped. the best of luck. Also, I forgot to mention, but I do offer tarot readings and oracle card readings. So if you are looking for clarity and would like a reading, please DM me on Instagram. We can set one up. I've got a lot of different payment options as well, but it's an awesome tool to see if you are on the right path or if what you are manifesting is coming into fruition. And I would love to be able to help you and connect to our spirit guides for that information. But that's everything I have for you today. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon with a new video. Bye.